Welcome back to Cooking with Kayla D. I'm Kayla, and that's my husband Randy. My disclaimer. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get all the up-to-date episodes. Today we're going to be making Totino's Pizza Rolls copycat recipe. Buckle up, and let's get to cooking. For our starting ingredients, we're going to need a package of Wonton Wraps, 1 bag of mini pepperonis, 4 to 6 ounces of mozzarella cheese, 4 to 6 ounces of marinara sauce, 2 ounces of water for sealing, and oil for cooking. You'll want to get your ingredients in little bowls so it's easier for you to put these together so you're not struggling putting your hands in bags. I also wanted to let you know that I'm using the low moisture mozzarella cheese so that a lot of milk does not come out of that while it is frying, because then it will cause a really loud popping sound and more oil popping. So you want to use low moisture mozzarella for this. First, you're going to take your wonton wrappers and you want to lay a couple out. What I did was I put a little bit of cheese in the center of each one. Those are the wonton wrappers. I also have links for all these ingredients at your local Walmart near you in my description area below. So if you look in the description area, there is a link for each item, and you can look up on your local Walmart app by clicking the link and finding it. It'll tell you what aisle that those items are in. So anyways, like I said, you just take a small pinch of cheese. You could also use sliced mozzarella cheese slices if you would like, or like get the cheese sticks and then cut them in half and then into smaller pieces. But you just put a little bit in each one, and then after you get your cheese down, then you want to do a tiny dollop. And I would say I used about a quarter, like the coin, a quarter size of mozzarella cheese, and then I just took a dollop about the size of a nickel, a little over a dime, about the size of a nickel, and put the sauce on top of that. And then once I had that done, and the reason I did it on top of the cheese is just so the sauce didn't soak through the bottom of the wrapper. I wanted it to sit on top of the cheese. You see, and you go ahead and you just take your water along each edge. You want to do all 4 edges because we're going to be sealing these like an envelope to make them the little rectangle square type shape that the Totinos are. So then also you want to take your pepperonis and put your pepperonis on. I put 3 pepperonis on each one right in the center of the mini ones. Now if you're using the regular size pepperoni, you can go ahead and just set it right on top and then fold your wrapper right over the top of that slice, or you can cut them up. It is up to you. That is how I did it. And if you don't want to use pepperoni, you don't have to. You could use sausage, whatever you want. They also have the breakfast crumble sausages that you could buy in the freezer section. I'll also have a link for those in the description area if you would like to use the sausage. If you want bacon, you could use real bacon bits, and that will be just like using real bacon. But we're just doing simple pepperoni just to do this copycat recipe and try it. This is our first time making it. And these wonton wrappers worked out well. I have spring roll wraps and I was going to use them, but they're thin and the sauce would go right through it. So if you're not using sauce, then spring roll wraps are really nice to have to use, and mine are full size, so I would cut them into 4 if you're making these. And of course, you want to make however many people that you're having, ask them about how many they want, make that amount, and then add always a couple more extra just in case. We just made a few of them today. We didn't make a full recipe because we just made enough for what we wanted to eat for lunch and to get this video up and running. So just continue to do this and use your water and wrap it around each side and then fold it. You just fold it into 4s. Top down, then bottom, and then the sides over, and it should look like an envelope just about when you're done. And I put mine on a sheet tray, that way it was easier for me to go ahead and get them right into a skillet. I went ahead and fried mine in a shallow skillet. But first, here are those mini pepperonis that I was telling you about. There will be a link for this and all the other ingredients that I used today in the description area below. Now my wraps are done. I'm going to go ahead and get this on medium-high heat. And I also have the oil I'm using in the description area below. You want to shallow fry this. You can deep fry. You can also just spray it and with your cooking spray and put it in an air fryer. I would say for probably at 365 degrees for about 5 minutes and then check on them. So I went ahead and did this on a medium-high heat, and I've got mine in there frying. I let them fry for about 30 seconds on each side, and once that was done, I went ahead and removed them from the skillet. I used olive oil because it is a high heat frying oil, and we like heart-healthy oils in this house. But as you can see, it fried right up. It was about maybe 20-30 seconds, and I was ready to turn them over. My stove goes up to 8, and I cooked this on a 5, so that should tell you. And then I ended up actually turning it down to a 4. But it went really fast. You're actually only standing at your stove cooking for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how many you're doing. It only took me 2 because I only made 2 small batches. Of course, if you're going to cook more, it's going to do a little bit more time for you. But that's how they cooked up. And then what I did was just get some paper towels onto that tray that I had these on, and I went ahead and just set them onto those paper towels to drain any excess oil off of them until we were ready to coat them. After I got this batch out, I went ahead and stuck my other batch in. You'll notice there's a little bit of brown floating substance in the oil. That is some of the Parmesan cheese that came out because I added a little bit of fresh grated Parmesan to my mozzarella just to try it out. We actually didn't even care for it, so we won't do it again next time, but you can put some Parmesan mixed in with your mozzarella cheese if you would like. I just chose this time to try it, but next time we definitely won't be doing that. We'll just put it on the outside for the topping. But the cheese does come out like that, and it's just try to pick it off of your Tostito rolls once you take them out of the fryer. As you could see how fast these were frying, and at this point I already turned it down to a 4, and those suckers were frying up like really fast. They were super easy to make too. I was so shocked. Literally only took me like 10 minutes to make this whole recipe, and that's with filming and everything, so that was really cool. Now that we're done frying, the ingredients for our topping is 4 tablespoons of butter. I used salted butter, melted, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of parsley, and about a tablespoon of grated Parmesan cheese. And I used the powder kind of Parmesan, that like the Kraft. That's what I used. I'll put a link in the description area as well. I mixed up the butter, the garlic, and the parsley together, and then I had it in a smaller bowl, and I dunked each one, flipping it over into the butter sauce, and then put it into a big bowl. And then after I got these all dunked, then I went ahead and I sprinkled my Parmesan cheese on top of them and then tossed them around again. One thing to note is that if you love garlic, go ahead and douse it in garlic, but if you're not a fan of garlic, there is like a garlicky bite to the powdered Parmesan cheese, so you might not want to put garlic into your butter. You might want to skip that step. We did put the garlic powder into our melted butter, and then we did use the Parmesan cheese. And Randy was like, woof, those things are so garlicky. So next time we definitely will not be putting the garlic powder into our butter. We'll just do parsley and then add the Parmesan powder at the end. So now that the Parmesan, I've sprinkled that on. I only used a tablespoon. You just toss that around, and then they're ready to eat. Well, let's get some napkins, and let's ask Randy what he thinks about these Tostitos pizza rolls. Nice crunch.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Show me the inside of it. Ooh, yummy.
It's delicious. Inside and outside.
Is it better than Tostitos pizza rolls?
Oh, way better. Tostitos don't have nothing on this. Cooking with Kayla D.
Well, you heard it from his mouth. Cooking with Kayla D. Thank you for joining us on this episode of making a copycat recipe. Here are some pictures here from Myrtle Beach. Welcome to Myrtle Beach. We had the sandcastles out here this summer, and I forgot to share some of these photos, so thought I'd throw them in here now. Isn't that neat? Look at how big that was. I thought that was so cool, and I was like, we really have to share this photo. And then we have here, someone had wrote a beautiful 2022 out on the beach and added some shells, and I was like, oh my god, I need that in here. And then, of course, another view looking down amongst the Grand Strand here with the beautiful water. Thank you for being here and cooking with Kayla D. As always, we say stay in that kitchen and keep on cooking. God bless. And until next time, we bid you adieu.
For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Romans 8:18.
To subscribe to our channel, click the link here on the left, and for more delicious recipes like this one, here are 2 other options here on the right.